Let's talk now about the most fundamental equation in energy work, and that's the relationship between energy and power. Energy is equal to power times time, represented E equals P times T. We know that power is a capacity, it's an instantaneous draw, and it's a rate at which something can consume energy or do work, or both. So a rate, like miles per hour, has time in the denominator. You have to multiply by time to get rid of that and make it into energy. So first, looking at electricity, typically we represent power in electricity with kilowatts or with watts. In this case, we have 1.5 kilowatts. Now remember, if you start with watts, you have to first convert it to kilowatts if you're going to get your answer in kilowatt hours. So this 1.5 kilowatts is the same thing as 1,500 watts. That's the size of a typical electric heater. So say you take that heater, write down its power in kilowatts, and you run it for 4 hours. 1.5 kilowatts times 4 hours is 6, and kilowatts times hours is kilowatt hours. You need to be able to do this for pretty much anything that consumes electric energy. If a customer wants to know how much energy something uses or how much their bill is for a certain device, this is all in the world you have to do. Figure out how much power it draws, estimate how long it's running. Now some things like motors get a little bit more complicated, but most things are just this simple. Now let's look, I think it's easier to see power, the representation of power with when it's represented in BTUs per hour, because then you can actually see time in the denominator. So this would be for 100,000 BTU per hour furnace. And say it runs for 4 hours. You just multiply power times time right here, and you get, if that runs for 4 hours, you get 400,000 BTUs are used. You need to be able to do that calculation for anything that burns fuel. So if a customer wants to know how much energy their gas fireplace uses, and it burns 30,000 BTUs per hour, you just look that up on the nameplate, 30,000 BTUs per hour. You ask them how much they use it, how many hours a night, figure out how much time it's used, and multiply those numbers.